After all, this is the full extent of the San Andreas Fault, with its closest extent being 50 miles to the northeast. This quake did not occur on the San Andreas Fault, but rather on the Elsinore Fault. To prevent confusion, I want to note the difference fault and fault system between three similar terms that mean different scientific things which are being used: fault, fault zone, and fault system. A fault represents a fracture or series of fractures between two blocks of rock that allows it to move to accommodate regional stresses. A fault zone represents an area where frequent earthquakes generally occur that includes multiple smaller faults which are closely spaced. And a fault system represents a grouping of multiple faults and/or fault zones that accommodate regional tectonic stresses. Thus, while the earthquake occurred on the Elsinore Fault, it was part of the larger Elsinore Fault Zone, which itself is part of the even larger San Andreas Fault System since it accommodates a portion of the motion between the North American and Pacific tectonic plates. Hopefully this clarifies the terms being thrown around. But, what about the earthquake? Why did this occur? Well, the Elsinore Fault is a right strike-slip fault, lateral strike-slip fault, and if we overlay the moment tensor for the quake which struck, we can see that the noted motion is exactly what would be expected on that fault. This fault moves approximately 4 mm or 0.16 inches a year, and this stress built up and was partially released in a segment which I estimate to be 4 km or 2.49 miles long, resulting in a maximum of 8 inches or 20 centimeters or ground movement. In historic times, across the length of the Elsinore Fault Zone which goes into Mexico, Elsinore Fault, a total of 16 earthquakes of magnitude 5 or larger have struck, including a magnitude 6.0 in 1769, a magnitude 7.2 in 2010, and a magnitude 7.3 in 1892. Research indicates that this fault zone is capable of producing earthquakes of up to magnitude 7.5. So is there any reason to worry about one soon occurring? The answer to this is no, not really, although there technically is a very small chance. Any time a large earthquake strikes, the risk of a larger earthquakes happening temporarily increases, albeit very slightly for a time. By 10:58 a.m. on April 21, the U.S. Geological Survey has used statistical averages and modeling to suggest the chance of at least one of the following magnitude aftershocks or greater occurring. For a magnitude 3 or larger, 88% chance. For a magnitude 4 or larger, 39% chance. For a magnitude 5 or larger, 7%. For a magnitude 6 or larger, 1% chance. And, for a magnitude 7 or larger, 0.1% chance. In other words, in all likelihood the magnitude 5.2 quake which struck does not represent the foreshock to an even larger damaging earthquake. Besides, the largest average aftershock after an earthquake strikes is aftershocks 1.2 magnitudes lower than the main quake. As a quick edit before this video goes live, already 129 aftershocks have struck, the largest of which happened to be exactly a magnitude 4.0. And yes, 13 smaller foreshocks occurred in the 19 hours preceding the April 14 magnitude 5.2 quake. The rate of aftershocks is expected to progressively decrease at a rate of 1/x, with x representing time over the following days to weeks. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member Ann Humphrey for supporting